What's up, gamers? Today we're doing the top 10 grumpy gamers. It's just grumpy people in video games. Starting off, the top number 10 is Gruntilda. No, not Game Grumps, even though we are talking about the grumpy gamers. Game Grumps did play, everyone remembers Banjo-Kazooie when Game Grumps was Game Grumps and it did have JonTron on it. This is, Banjo-Kazooie. This is the game I was just talking about from Gruntilda is in it. This one also have Conga in it, and he's a big scary gorilla who is always grumpy. He's probably grumpy because people trying to steal his oranges and throw oranges at him and do all these sorts of things with oranges. This is Seymour Guado, and uh maybe the word grumpy isn't the best descriptor for what Seymour Guado is. Maybe he's more brooding or something like this. But it's on his own wedding day, and he's not even smiling really. So that to me seems more grumpy than anything. This next one is another grumpy man, and he's this is a president from Pikmin, and just because he's grumpy doesn't mean it's bad. Because sometimes you just have to be grumpy. Sometimes you are grumpy. He's grumpy because he took out an enormous loan to repay the debt from this loss, and the company is going under, and they're finished. And that would make pretty much anybody grumpy, especially a president of a company. This is Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow's just grumpy for a bunch of non-business related things. Shadow's grumpy because he was created by evil Dr. He was created by Dr. Eggman to be Sonic or something like that. But he's not Sonic. This next one, okay, so now we're doing all these ones are now Disney grumpy people because Disney has a bunch of famous villains that are grumpy, just like this is Scar, and he's the next one. He's number 5, and he's a grumpy Disney villain, and he's in Kingdom Hearts, and guess what? He got even grumpier. And Disney's Sorcerer's area, this is Pete. And Pete's in a couple different games for the Disney video game systems like Super Nintendo, Mickey Adventure, and he's also in the Kingdom Hearts games. Just like a lot of these Disney villains is in the Kingdom Hearts games. This next, guess what this one is? It's Maleficent from Kingdom Hearts game. No, not talking about Oron, even though he is grumpy. We're talking about Maleficent from Kingdom Hearts is grumpy. No, not Hades. Hades is pretty jovial sometimes. We're talking about Maleficent. And no, we're not talking about Ursula. Ursula is pretty grumpy. But once again, we're not talking about the Red Queen, even though she's pretty grumpy. These are all pretty grumpy people. That was Maleficent. This next one is a good Disney Donald Duck, going Quackers from Nintendo 64 in a bunch of different games. But Donald Duck is going Quackers, and that means that he is sort of like grumpy. When you're going Quackers, it means that you are sort of grumpy. This next one is the top number 1. It's Snow White and the Seventh Dwarf. And there he is, right there on the bottom, Grumpy. His name is Grumpy. Thank you for joining me today, and have a grumpy day.